this weekend I was away with my family for a trip. And in the past, I always had to be very careful about what I was eating, what I was drinking, and I had to be very restrictive about the things that I could order and that I would like take in into my body, right? Because I was always afraid it would somehow give me a type of reaction, because this always happened, right? It would give me a reaction to the thing that I was ingesting, and it will give me brain fog, anxiety, and such, and it will kind of ruin the experience when you're with your family members or your loved ones or just your friends, and you're out there, and then all of a sudden you have the feeling that you kind of change as a person. You kind of, what I personally get is that I tend to get very locked into my own like thoughts. I think this is called depersonalization, where you can see yourself, you're basically acting in a way, but you're not really that. You can see yourself acting in a way, but you're not really that person. And I tend to avoid that at all times because like I said, I think it ruins the experience for me. It might also kind of ruin the experience for others. And one thing that seems to be working very good for me is a supplement called Micronized P. And it works in a variety of factors in the body, and it also helps with stabilizing mast cells and stabilizing an enzyme called NOx and a DPH oxidase. Especially the stabilizing of the mast cells seems to be important when you're going to eat something you're not normally eating or drinking something you don't normally drink. So I tend to then take this supplement about like 10 minutes, 15 minutes before I eat or drink something. And I don't get this anxiety anymore. I don't get this brain fog. I do feel a bit different, but it's nowhere near what it used to be. And the beautiful thing is, because the first day we were there on Friday, Saturday and Sunday, and Friday evening it was just a lot of fun. We were just sitting outside together at this lake and we were having some drinks, just catching up with my family because they currently live in Holland, I live in Switzerland, so we were meeting halfway in Germany. And we were just telling stories, just having fun, and I was having a couple of drinks. But the next day, I woke up, I felt alright. Everyone was still sleeping, good. I would just do some work on the channel. And at about 10 o'clock, when we've had breakfast and such, I just felt very, I don't know, just not like myself. It wasn't like an anxious kind of thing, but it was more like there's this whole mist that then comes over me where I'm not really enjoying the whole thing anymore, right? And people do notice it, and then it kind of rubs off on the whole energy, which I hate it when it happens. When you're influencing the energy in a way that you don't want it to be influenced. And then I now start to realize more and more when this happens, and I catch myself early enough, and I took the Micronized P, and it, like I'm telling you, in a matter of minutes, it cleared the whole thing up. It was just better. I just felt at ease again. I just felt like having fun again. I could talk again, like I wanted to talk with my family, right? And I mean, that's just beautiful when you then do find something, because I've been on this road for a couple of years now, and at first you're just trying random supplements, and you're just taking anything to kind of get some relief and see what it does. And this whole experimenting phase then later turned into actually looking at biochemistry, looking at my own genes. So, and that's kind of what I want to share with you on this channel, just some information that you could use to maybe learn from my mistakes and also just help you on the way, perhaps, right? I will say Micronized P seems to be very safe for the bigger population, but if you are still actively inflamed and if you feel like this all the time, right? If you're feeling anxious, brain fog, low energy, just these these typical symptoms all the time, then micronized will not solve this, because your overall load of things creating these symptoms in the body will be too high at that point. Because my thinking is that the P turns something off in the body that is turned on, like let's say mast cells that are turned on by the thing you're eating, drinking, or whatever. You've not been sleeping well. It turns that off, right? And then you instantly feel better because it's not creating this inflammatory stress anymore. But when your body is already overloaded, then it will have a lesser effect. It will stop things to an extent of being created. So long term, and that's why I'm definitely including it in the protocol, long term, it will for sure be a massive factor in getting better. I'm just saying, if you're taking it and you're not feeling a lot of relief, it's because we also need to be working on the clearance of the things that are creating the problem in your body, right? But I will definitely get back to that with you. For now, thank you for watching this video, and I hope you have a wonderful day.